Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a football pitch, or a soccer pitch, whatever you want to call it. Really depends on what end of the world you're in anyway, so either's fine with me. Don't worry, I won't get upset. By the way, just in case you have any more building related needs, I would highly recommend checking out the card system, in which I'll be leaving loads of videos and playlists that I think that you guys might really enjoy. Plus, recently, if you are a fan of sports, I've done a basketball court, which you guys have received quite well. You really seem to like it, and I am highly considering and working on, I will mention, actually working on some more sports related builds. So let me know if you do like this kind of stuff. But that's more than enough talking. If you want to make the football pitch, here's what you're going to need. Grab yourself some grass block just in case you mess up. Then grab some block of quartz. Flip over, grab yourself some web. Grab a white wool, some black wool, grab a white carpet, and finally grab yourself some item frames. Those last three materials are really for the ball that we're making, which doesn't even look too much like a football, but we're going to give it a go anyway. So once you have each one of those materials right there, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here, you're going to want to kick off your football pitch by carving a row of 5 into the ground. So that'll look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Then the rest of this is going to be built by looking down at the ground like this, and we're kind of going to be doing it like we would a pixel art or something like that. So what we now want to do is take this left hand block in this row 5 that we've made, and we want to do 3 up left diagonals from it. That's 1, 2, 3. We then want to go up by 4, so all carved into the ground, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 up right diagonals. 1, 2, 3. Right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 3 bottom right diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3. Then come down by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 2 bottom left diagonals, to give you a shape which should look like this. We have a circle. What we now want to do is we want to cut the circle up the middle like this, so we just want to half the circle. And we also want to take the middle block in the circle. It shouldn't be too hard to find. It's basically this block right here. I've just found it by eyeballing it. Take this middle block and destroy the blocks left and right of that center block to give you a shape which should look like this. Kind of looks like 2 Pac-Mans facing off against each other. Then take out your white wool and completely fill the center of that shape in with white. And this is kind of going to be the very center of the pitch. So we're just going to fill this in with white wool, or at least we're going to give it our best go. And then we will move on from this. So we want to have something which should look a little bit like that. That is right at the center of the field. Now, what we then want to do is take the very middle block in the left-hand side of our circle, so this one right here, we even have a white wool pointing at it, and from this block, we want to, leaving a gap of 7, so use like black wool or something to mark this out, leaving a gap of 7, so that'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Leave a gap of 7 going left, like that. You guys can already see what I've done. Leave a gap of 7 going left. Then, destroy this next block on the floor, next to our gap of 7. Then, still going left, leave a gap of 2. Destroy the block in the floor. Leave a gap of 2. Destroy the block in the floor. Gap of 2. Destroy the block in the floor. To give you something which should look a little bit like that. And that doesn't look like too much now, but what we're now going to do is take this very first gap that we made, place a white wool in it, then going up from this white wool and down from this white wool, we want to carve out 2 rows of 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And this will be 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to do 2 bottom left diagonals from the bottom, and we want to do 2 up left diagonals from the top. So 1, 2, and 1, 2 to give you this shape, reverse C, or regular C. Once you have that C shape, you then want to, taking this second empty space that we have just placed a white wool in, we want to connect. Okay, so this is what we want to do. Destroy it, going up and down until we connect with the previous, like, backwards C shape that we've made to form a semicircle. Once you have connected with that previous C shape, you then want to continue going up and down, and you want to destroy a further 5 blocks. So that'll look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this. What you can then do is take the next empty single space that we kind of placed earlier in between the black, place a single white wool in it, that we're actually leaving alone. Then come to the next one, the last one, place a white wool in it, and going up and down, destroy rows of 6. So coming up a row of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and coming down a row of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then take each one of those 6 blocks, and going left, we want to do 2 rows of 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we want to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Then connect each one of those fourth blocks together, so just cut out that shape there, connect each one of those fourth blocks together to give us this shape, looking a little weird. It kind of looks like Greek lettering. And what we then want to do is we want to come to this very long row here that we formed earlier, and we want to take each one of these very end blocks, and we want to kind of like connect them to the edge of the mini rectangular shape that we've just made. So I've just done one side just as an example. We want to have something which should look like that. So you see, you want to drag it back as far as we have destroyed before, and then connect it down to the little mini rectangular shape that we made. So this is the top, so we just want to destroy as far back as we have done before, so right here, and then connect it down. So we end up with a shape that should look a little bit like this. And what we can also do is then just fill the center of this thing in with white wool, and this is going to simply be all of the markings on the ground. This might take a second or two to fill in. These markings are relatively complicated. They really are. I don't know what half these things mean because I'm not into football, soccer, soccer ball, foot soccer, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Foot Locker. That sounds like a good name for a store. Maybe I'll open my own Foot Locker. I'm joking. I already know that exists. I'm pretty sure that it was the name of a film as well. Anyway, we're just filling in all of these markings on the grounds, and we'll end up with something that should hopefully, if we done them all, that should look a little bit like this. Now what we have to do is we have to do the net. So where is the net going, you might be asking? So the net is actually going to sit inside of this little rectangular box that we have at the edge of the pitch. So one block like inwards in relation to the rectangle, yet one block outwards in relation to this white line of the pitch. We want to do a row of 5 quartz coming up from the ground. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then from that 5th block coming across the net, we want to do a row of 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then connect that 10th block all the way down to the ground. Perhaps I didn't do a row of 10, but you guys get the point. It just wants to sit one row inwards in relation to the actual to that little rectangular shape that we have there. And once you have that little quartz thing, so now that we have the shape of the goal, it's now time for us to add the net. So take out your webbing and come to the left hand side of the goal here. So what we want to do is take this first quartz block like inside of the top of the goal. So this one right here, we want to place a web going right of it, coming out the back. We then want to do 2 bottom right diagonals, so that is 1 and 2, and then we want to connect that second bottom right diagonal to the ground to form this shape. Do this on the left, do it on the right. So on the right hand side here, 1 block coming in from the top here, we want to come back by 1. Do 2 bottom left diagonals, that is 1 and 2. Then connect it down to the ground. Then fill the sides of those shapes in with your webbing. So this is this side, and this will obviously be the other side. We just want to do the same thing here. And then what we want to do is connect those outer webbings together. So to connect those together, we just want to connect the outer webbings together, and this will form the actual net. After we've done this, we just have to do the actual perimeter of the pitch itself. So after you have formed the net, the goal, whatever you want to call it, once you form that, we now want to take out our white wool, and in line with this back white line that we have all the way back here, what we want to do is extend this line up and down by 8. So that'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And obviously the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then fill the center of those empty spaces in with your white wool, and this is going to be like the very edge of the pitch, and we just want to end up with something that should end up looking a little something like this. And there we go, that's half of it done pretty much. So once you've got that half done, we obviously have to work on the other half now, don't we? So once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. Come all the way over to the opposite side of the circle that we have in the center of the pitch, and we want to take this very center block in our circle, and once again using our black wool, we want to leave a gap of 7 going right. So this is the center block, leave a gap of 7, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I probably counted that out wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go, perfect. We then want to destroy the next block in the ground from our row of 7, and then leave another gap of 2. Destroy the block in the ground, gap of 2, destroy the block in the ground, gap of 2, destroy the block in the ground to give us 4 empty spaces in the ground. And you can fill each one of those in with your white wool, like this. Then, taking this very first white wool that we have here, we want to extend this going up and down each by 4. So that'll look like 1, 2, 3, 4, and that'll look like 1, 2, 3, 4. then fill that in with white wool. Fill each one of those rows of 4 in with white wool. You can then do, from those 4 white walls, do 2 bottom right diagonals from the bottom one, that's 1, 2, and do 2 upper right diagonals from the top one, so that's 1, 2. Then, you want to move on to the next white wall, so the second single white wall that we have here, and you want to destroy it into the ground and connect to the previous 2 outward diagonals. So we kind of want to form them together and form a semicircle like this. Then, taking each one of those blocks that connect and form the circle, we want to extend those up and down each by a further 5. So that'll look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that'll look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we want to, once you've got that taken care of, we can leave that as it is, and we can move on to not this next white wall, because this one we're leaving alone, this single white wall, this third one, but move on to the fourth and final white wall that we placed, and we want to extend this one up and down each by 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that'll look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then take each one of those 6 walls, and going right towards the end of the pitch, we want to do 2 rows of 4, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we want to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Then connect each one of those 4 blocks together like this to form a rectangular shape. But what we also want to do is we want to come back to where we have this very long row here, and we want to connect the 2 ends of the long row to the very outer part of our rectangular shape. So just as we did on the other side, this is just forming the big giant like keeper's box or whatever it's called. Like I said, I don't know what any of this is called. I don't know what this means, but you want to end up with a shape that should look like this. And once you do have that, you can then fill the empty space that you've left in the ground in with white wool. So just go all the way around the inside of this with your white wool and just fill it in. So obviously this will take a little bit of doing. It takes a little bit of time. And what we'll be doing after this is the other net. Then we'll be doing the perimeter of the actual pitch itself, and we also have to add some things on the corners. We've got to kind of like put some weird tabs on the corners. I don't know what those are for either, but we've got to add them because they're there. What can I say? So we want to have something which should end up looking a little something like that, and that is what we have for the opposite side as well. Once you've got that taken care of, take out your block of quartz and come to the outer part of the pitch. Starting from the inner block on the outer part of the rectangle, so this one right here, you guys can see what I'm talking about. On top of this block, you want to go up by 5 with your quartz, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then go left by 10 with the quartz, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then connect all that down to the ground to form the actual structure of the goal. Then take out your web, and starting from the second block from the top of the goal, so the second block inwards from the top of the goal, we want to place a web behind it. Then do 2 bottom right diagonals from that web, that'll be 1 and that'll be 2. Then connect that down to the ground. Then do the same on the other side, so we're on the other side, second block coming in, we want to extend it out by 1, do 2 bottom left diagonals, that is 1 and that'll be 2, then connect that down to the ground like so, and then we just want to fill the outer parts of the webbing in with web, and we also then want to connect to the outer parts of the net at the back. We want to connect those together with the web as well, and this will just form the actual big proper net. So I think I've actually missed a row. Have I missed a row? I've missed a row. There we go. Oh, there we go. Fixed it. So those are both of the nets taken care of. What we have to do now is the actual perimeter. So we now want to take out our white wall, and extending the back 2 corners of this rectangularish looking box shape, we want to go up and down each by 8. So we want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we want to do the top one as well, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. We then want to connect each one of those 8 blocks that we have on this side all the way over to those 8 blocks that we have on the opposite side. This may take a second or two. It might take more than a second, actually. It's taken a little while, but luckily we've only got one to do after this. But what we do have to do is we do have to fill this in with white wool, and this is going to be like the left-hand side of the pitch, and then obviously we're going to be doing the right-hand side of the pitch, and this is going to be pretty well forming of the actual shape of the thing itself. So it's actually kind of big when I think about it, but we also want to take these 8s. In my head, this is a pretty small football pitch, soccer pitch, whatever, soccer ball pitch. And you want and I was planning on doing a bigger one. I'm obviously going to have to do a bigger one. Is this row? I just realized that this isn't going to connect, but I just zoned out quickly and I checked, and this row is actually 7, so that'll be 8 now, and that has connected in the right place. So that is the exact same shape. I just didn't do a row of 8 on this opposite side coming outwards. So we also have to fill this in with white, and once we've done this, we just have to add the final markings inside each one of the 4 corners. I'm calling them little white tabs, and then that will be that. So we're just going all the way around here. We have now the actual proper rectangular shape of this, and what we now want to do inside of each one of the 4 corners, we want to basically kind of like leave these 3 corner blocks alone, so like these ones here, and we want to knock into the floor like 3 diagonal white walls. So we want to have something which should look like this inside each one of the 4 corners. So you guys can see what you have to do there. We're going to do this to each one of the 4 corners. That's 1 already. That's going to be 2. Just leaving the 3 middle blocks alone. That's 1, 2, 3 here, so 3 diagonals, and then the 4th one. So 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. And we also want to destroy the black wall. So we're just going to destroy the black wall, and then we will have the pretty much 100% fully completed football pitch, and we can take a look at it. So we just want to end up with something that should look exactly like this. Let's get this pesky UI off and let's take a look at this thing properly. So this is the 100% fully completed football pitch. Obviously the grass has to regrow, somebody will tend to that, don't worry, somebody has a job to do. And this is it. Hopefully you guys like this, hopefully you've enjoyed it, and if you've managed to make it, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like, a favourite, a share, anything you feel like doing to help me out. Subscribe if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel. I'd like to say plenty of things like this, but this is kind of like the second in a sports theme build, but loads and loads of random stuff that I'm sure that you guys would really enjoy. Comment down below, what do you want to see me make next? Do you want to see me do a stadium? Do you want me to make any other various sport related builds? Check out the card system for all of my other videos and playlists. I'll leave loads of stuff in there that I think that you guys would really enjoy. Also in the description, I'll be leaving my basketball court, which you may vaguely see in the background there. You might be able to see the 2 hoops. So, like, favorite, share if you wouldn't mind. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below card system if you want to make some other stuff. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.